Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable. Welcome back to Latvia. Madona is where we are. The weather is a little bit more like that now. Blue skies when we shot these bits yesterday. But we've had torrential rain here on the motocross track and it's made conditions very difficult. It's a beautiful town. Very, very lovely people. Everyone is so friendly. The track is not far. It's literally a few miles up the road. So it's very easy for us to get up there. The championship is very tight. 16 points separate the top three. Koen Hermans, very, very slender. We simply have to talk every round to the man who's holding the red plate. And Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart have done a brilliant job this year. They're coming under some pressure now, though, with 6 races still ahead. But you're always very calm, and you're looking calm at the moment, Koen.
Yeah, I am. It is what it is, and we are still feeling good on the bike. We had some small issues, and yeah, we lost a lot of points there. So the gap is not so big as before, but I hope we can make a bigger gap here.
The teams behind you are closing in, of course, but you've got their speed. You've got the speed. We've seen the speed. Reliability is the question.
Yeah, I think if we have a good start, yeah, then of course we have the possibilities to win. It will be a nice battle for sure, especially with the Prunier brothers. So yeah, we are looking forward for it.
Now, yeah, we are in Latvia, we are in Madona, hometown, home GP for you. Do you think a lot of spectators are coming here for you?
Yeah, I hope. Already a lot of people buy tickets online, so I hope more even than they come by also here. So I hope it's no rain, so even more spectators come, but yeah, it will still be a good GP and I think a lot of people show up.
And is it for you an extra motivation, or do you get some goosebumps if there are Latvian spectators, your home GP?
I don't know, maybe tomorrow I feel the stress or I get goosebumps, but now of course, yeah, also in Poland we have so many spectators, so yeah, I think it pushes us to do better. Yeah. And
now, yeah, now we have to, I think it's the first GP for you in Latvia, when you start riding GPs now for 3 years. This is the first one. And what I heard today is that we have several years to come to here. So it's good for the sport in Latvia, and it's good for you because you have a lot of people here, banners. Yeah. Lovely track, new track.
Yeah, I hope it's good that we do it next year and next year. So I think more and more people will continue to come. Yeah. I hope we can grow the sport even bigger also in Latvia, so maybe little kids see us and maybe also start riding, so it's good that it happens in Latvia.
Well, the Lil Bardis boys are the kids to beat, that's for sure, but this is it. Look at that slender lead, and with qualifying yesterday, that gap came down a little bit. The Prunier boys are now on 2:45. So they took 2 points out of Koen Hermans with their qualifying position. Yesterday, Koen Hermans broke down in qualifying. He didn't enhance his standings. Wilkinson and Millard have moved to within 16 points of the lead because they had a brilliant second place in their qualifying race yesterday. Lefrink, Leobardis, Kerben, Weiss, Schneider, well, Van Luken, of course. Weiss is not here. Kerben is flying. And let's see what they can do. And here's how they low. You can see how well Kerben is flying. He was Group B winner. Leobardis Group A fastest. Kerben, Wilkinson second in Group A. Lefrink's second in Group B. Sanders was flying as well. Stefan Wires surprised me, certainly. He was very fast yesterday. Tom van der Lagerbach has Nicolas Mousset on board. Of course, Marvin van Luken are unable to compete. The Prunier boys, disappointing by their standards. Mike Hodges, Ryan Henderson, Jake Brown, the fellow British crew, rounding up the top 10. Normac Gordiev, the Varto boys, Kevin and Kenny, with their 580 KTM with teleforks on the AYR chassis. Kartiala there from Finland. Let's give him a shout out. Adrian Petto and Joel Hoffman as reliable as ever. And there, further down the order, some lads making it for the first time. The Padinki brothers from Finland, only their second ever season. Huge crowd despite torrential rain this morning, and a lot of advance tickets sold, so people weren't going to waste that money. They're going to come here to support the Lille Bardis boys for sure. And there are quite a few Baltic teams, as you saw in the lineup, so it's going to be very interesting. The track has changed dramatically since qualifying yesterday. You can still see the standing water at the back of the grid, and 101 Daniel and Bruno Lille Bardis were out here 10 minutes ago, marking their spot like a couple of spaniels. They were patting the ground down and making it firm. Brett Wilkinson lines up alongside Lille Bardis, Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman, Tim and Sam Lefferink. I should mention Joe Millard in the sidecar of the 199, doing a fantastic job. Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent. The 109 crew, Stefan Wires, Han van Hal 418, and then Tom van der Lagermaat. That's the best I've seen him going this season, and Nicolas Mousset on board. So Tom van der Lagermaat, very much inspired, I can tell you. So that completes the left-hand side of the grid, which is the fastest sprint to the first turn, which is why Lille Bardis has grabbed that key place. Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart will be on the second row. But with 30 laps, 30 minutes and 2 laps, I beg your pardon, then he's got every chance of fighting through. There, Kylian Evon Prunier, closest to the box there in the middle. Mike Hodges, Ryan Henderson, Jake Brown and Christopher Booth. And then lining up alongside them, we have the 711 crew, and that's Marcus Normack. Putting a little bit of quad information away has just come to me courtesy of our timekeepers. The highlight show, of course, will be along in due course and exclusively to fim-moto.tv. My name's Barry Nutley, and I will do my best to take you through this action, which I'm much more familiar with than I was the quads earlier. Although it was a fantastic quad race which set up this one. The spectators here rooting, obviously, for the Lille Bardis boys. And I'm quite sure that lady is praying there for them. They're a very devout nation, the Latvians, actually. So, Lille Bardis, hard on the right as you look at it. Then Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard. Then Justin Kerben. And looking back, we're now on the left-hand side of the grid as you look at it. Prunier there, 94. Those boys not happy yesterday. Not happy at all. They were 8th placed finishers. So you can see, and the last man to the grid will be Koen Hermans. And where is he going to go? Because he's ideally got to get behind someone fast. Boyd and Per Verhees there. Yeah, the 191 crew, Patinas. And Lothar's Alexievs. The last few pushing out, and they're right at the back. The last outfit pushing in, Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart. And they are wondering what's going on here. Oh, there is somebody dropping in. There we have it. The red plate holder, just by 6 points as we go into this race. If we add the qualifying points from yesterday, Prunier took 2 points out of their 8-point lead. And that, of course, is where the big challenge comes, along with Brett Wilkinson, to Koen Herman's championship lead. Let's watch them where we are. Hermans has opted to go behind Jake Brown, who's normally quite a quick gaiter. That's not a bad choice, actually. But the left-hand sidecar will be taking different lines. So, revs are rising now. We are out of time. The countdown is up, and we will be into 15 seconds. Watch Kerben. He's quick out of the gate. The number 7 in the red strip. Alongside him, the Lefferings. 5 seconds. The gate goes down. And what has Leal Bardis done? Look at Brett Wilkinson with Leal Bardis, but it's Justin Kerben. Justin Kerben, and a good one by Killian and Evan Prunier as well. They went 4th. The Prunier boys are 4th. 5th, actually. Someone chopping back in. That's Brett Wilkinson. Brett Wilkinson 4th. Prunier 5th. Race leader, Justin Kerben. What a brilliant hole shot. Justin Kerben then into the lead here. Leal Bardis boys right there. And of course, then we've got Tim Lefferink. Then we've got Brett Wilkinson and Millard. But Justin Kerben, just as he did yesterday, got this thing off the line. And all the gardening in the world didn't do the Leal Bardis boys any good in terms of beating Kerben. Tim and Sam Lefferink in 3rd. They're seeing the track for the first time in these conditions because it's been very wet. There was no warm-up to speak of, and the quads have been out since. So this is going to be a total surprise and a new experience for all of these teams. The sun is out though, the track is good. Kerben leads from Leal Bardis and Lefferink. Where is Brett Wilkinson? Brett Wilkinson and the Prunier boys were right there. That's the top 3. There's Killian Prunier. Killian Evan Prunier up to 4th. Brett Wilkinson in 5th. You'll be watching for the red plate of Hermans and Ben van den Bogart fighting through. They came from the back row, but trust me, they are very fast and will be doing everything in their power. You can see how strung out they're getting now. Killian Evan Prunier, Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, and then the rest of them behind Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard really bunching up. Davy Sanders was in there for sure. We're riding with the 101 Leal Bardis as they chase Justin Kerben over the top of the hill. Leal Bardis on 194 points, 5 points behind the Lefferinks, who lead him in this race. But Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman, Tim and Sam Lefferink really close on the Leal Bardis case now. 30 minutes plus 2 laps, I remind you, a long way to go. And those 3 are getting away. Killian Evan Prunier in a strong 4th place. And of course, if they can finish this race ahead of Koen Hermans, that's where the challenge is for them. And also Brett Wilkinson, because Brett Wilkinson is not that far behind. He's only 10 points behind the Prunier brothers. Off comes the tear-off. Tim Lefferink ripping off his lens. Obviously there's enough muck out there still to fill them in. That's the problem. But the track here is holding up so very well. And Killian and Evan Prunier having a better ride this time. They know what's at stake. They know where the challenge is, and they know where the work is to be done. And that is to stay in front of Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart. Brett Wilkinson then. And who is that? That looks like Davy Sanders, excuse me. Dropping down over the big jumps. Leal Bardis, Lefferink, Prunier, Wilkinson then in 5th, and in 6th place it is indeed Davy Sanders. Stefan Wires has moved up to 7th, with Tom van der Lagermaat going with him. Adrian Petto, who got a cracking start, has dropped down to 9th place at the moment. But the top 8 are away with it. There's a massive gap back to Stefan Wires. Prunier stopped! Prunier! No, no, no. This is catastrophe for the Frenchman. The Zabel has expired. Frustration. The oh so ever reliable Zabel has expired. Evan saying, what's the problem? Oh no. Well, that will be music in the ears of Koen Hermans, and also music in the ears of Brett Wilkinson. So the misfortune of the Prunier boys, can you believe it? Can you believe it? Kilian Evon Prunier are out of 4th place with a mechanical problem. Brett Wilkinson then will move up a place, as indeed will Davy Sanders. At the front, Kerben is 1.5 seconds. Well, he's not even that. Real boys are right on him now. And there you can see Tim and Sam Leffering going round in a strong 3rd. But with Prunier out of it, that is a catastrophe for the French champions. There's a 4-5 second gap back to Brett Wilkinson. Leo Bardis in 2nd and chasing. They will be getting the real hurry up all the time. 23 minutes of normal racing still on this track, which has held up so very, very well. Frankly, I'm astonished. When we came in here this morning, I thought this whole race was going to be carnage. Prunier now tumbling down the order. The Zabel expired. No idea what that was. But certainly they will lose their 2nd place in the championship to Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard if they keep it all together. The Leo Bardis twins now right on the back wheel of Justin Kerben and Dion Reitman. Let me have a quick, if I dare take my eyes off the screen, to see where Koen Hermans is. Koen Hermans up to 8th, he and Ben van den Bogart. That is astonishing. They're on the back of Tom van der Lagermaat. Brett Wilkinson now in 4th place. But he is some 13 seconds behind the leading trio, who are only split by 5 seconds. It's very, very close at the front. You're watching that battle now. There's Hermans on his way through. Hermans then on the back of, there's Tom van der Lagermaat with Nicolas Musset. Hermans and Ben van den Bogart alongside. This is going to be 7th place if they can make their way past the 99 crew. But the further they go up the pack, the more difficult it becomes, because everybody's going just that little bit quicker. I can see Stefan Wires up ahead of Tom van der Lagermaat, and so can Koen Hermans, for that matter. Well, Koen, you can thank your lucky stars that the Prunier boys are out of it. Such is the misfortune in sidecar motocross. Anything can happen in the closing stages. But that will be a bitter, bitter pill to swallow for Kilian and Evan Prunier. Hermans is past Tom van der Lagermaat. So now up to 7th. He and Nicolas Musset relegated to 8th, the 99 crew. No disgrace. Hermans and Ben van den Bogart are the red plate holders, and they are a class act. The Mega 2-stroke, phenomenal in the hands of Koen Hermans. Mega two-stroke also in second place, which is why I'm so surprised that the Zabel of the Prunier brothers expired. But it was a bike problem, it packed up and that was it. Stefan Wires, looking like Stefan Wires battling with Davy Sanders there. Nothing between them. Stefan Wires right on the back of Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent, who in turn is closing down Brett Wilkinson. "10 minutes of racing gone already." Where did that go? Well, disaster for Kilian Evan Prunier. Brilliant riding by Koen Hermans, who's making his way up in the field. And down I can see Gert van Verben with Martin Benja, the promoter. This is a real turnaround in events, Gert.
I'm really happy that we are signed for 4 years. Today I already made agreement with Lithuanian round, so for the next season we will have a series called King of Baltics, starting in Poland, then in Estonia, also on the new track in Karlsruhe, and then in August Latvia round and the Lithuanian round. So I'm really happy to be back in Latvia, or let's say Baltic generally.
Yeah, we see a really big crowd here, enthusiastic, and we have a track. It's really, it's amazing what they've done.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. This is what you want to see. The guys are racing in front of 1,000 spectators, which is happening here, and I believe this is going to just be growing in the future.
Okay. So thank you very much, Martin, and yeah, we'll have to come back.
Here is another one, a Lithuanian round.
Thank you.
Smiles all round. Well done, Gert. Well done,
Thanks.
Martin. The battle going on at the front here still. Koen Hermans is up to 7th place now, behind Stefan Wires further back, but Leelbard is still chasing down Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman at the front. It's absolutely terrific. There's Davy Sanders. Davy Sanders under some pressure from Stefan Wires. Stefan Wires now, Koen Hermans is past Stefan Wires. That's Koen Hermans now on the back of Davy Sanders. What incredible progress from the very last place on the grid. Koen Hermans then up to 6th place, and we still have 17 minutes of racing and 2 laps left. Anything is possible with Koen Hermans in this form. The AMS 4-stroke of Justin Kerben performing really well ahead of the Mega 2-stroke of Daniel and Bruno Leelbardis, keeping that gap, keeping that very slender 7/10 of a second margin. And there are points when the Leelbardis boys close up on Justin Kerben, but he manages to just ease it out in other parts of the track. That's a good line, that right-hand line up the hill. It's a very smooth one. They're on the inside of the back marker. These are very quick guys indeed, lapping at 2:09.272, the fastest lap by Daniel and Bruno Leelbardis. And they have caught a tail ender there, and they won't be happy about that. That worked really well for Justin Kerben, who put the back marker between himself and the Leelbardis boys, and they are now by, but they've lost ground. You can see the gap has grown. Almost at half normal distance on the clock. But I have to give a big shout out for Justin Kerben. As I have done on so many occasions, he's had such bad luck this year, but always has had the speed. Since he found his mojo on the 4-stroke, he's never really looked back, apart from that huge accident in Portugal, which cost him the entire 2024 season, but to come back in this form after a broken femur is nothing short of amazing. And that is the man I'm talking about, with a number 7 on his back, and he's now opened a bit more of a gap over the Leeuwardis boys. Tim and Sam Lefrink are still in third, about 6 seconds adrift. Another back marker. So that's formality for Justin Kerben as he passes the 43 crew of Argo Polsar and Tom Kuzma. So good to see the Estonians here in force. And you heard what Martin said, next year Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland will feature in 4 Grand Prix, and there will be a separate Baltic Championship within that. An award for the best Baltic team. No teams from Poland, of course, because we don't have a culture of sidecar motocross in Poland, but it's certainly a good track when we go there to Gdansk. Still it's Kerben. Leeuwardis has found a bit more speed and has wound him in again. Quickest lap by Leeuwardis, 209.272. So they've got the speed. Herman's now past Davy Sanders and is on the back wheel, well, not quite, of Koen Hermans, of Brett Wilkinson. What am I talking about? So Koen Hermans now up to 5th. Astonishing. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard at this moment in time will move 2nd in the World Championship. And they've got quite a cushion ahead of the Lefrinks, so they will go into 2nd place, which will be absolutely an amazing result for them. Koen Hermans now right on the back of Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, and their lap speed 2:14, so they're lapping a lot slower than Koen Hermans, although his last lap was 2:13, so neither of them as quick as the Leeuwardis boys. Koen Hermans then dropped back a little bit from Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard there. From being right on their back wheel, the gap has now opened again, so clearly there are parts of the track that suit the left-hand sidecar of Wilkinson. Hermans, Ben van den Boogaard on the inside of the 232. That's Jurgis Max and Ardis Fiorodovs of Latvia. So Latvian crew there, a good lineup, a good turnout by the Latvian teams. Left-hand sidecar of Wilkinson. And Koen Hermans with 12 minutes of racing remaining before the 2-lap board comes out. He's got to do everything he can to close down Brett Wilkinson, who is eating into his championship lead. This is an astonishing turn-up of events. I was talking to Glenn Woodman, who's the AMS engine tuner and preparer yesterday. In fact, it was on Friday. And he said to me, I've got a feeling that this round in Madona could become pivotal. He was not wrong. Herman's taking the wide line, as indeed did Davy Sanders. A good option there before you go over the start-finish flag. Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent, what a weekend they're having. Stefan Wyers right with them, nothing between the Belgian and the Dutchman chasing. Stefan Wyers and Han van Hal are good in these conditions. It's digging out into quite big ruts, but it's also almost dusty. You can see the soil kicking up the rooster from the back wheel. Still that slender lead, 4 seconds Kerben has over Leeuwardis. Jens Vincent, a look over the left shoulder there to see where Stefan Wyers was. And it looks to me as though the Leobardis boys might have made their way past Justin Kerben. I didn't hear any ecstatic yells from the crowd, which is normally an indicator the Latvians go absolutely bonkers. Now this is Koen Hermans on Brett Wilkinson again. Wilkinson and Millard having to ride out of their boots to stay in front, and they just failed. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart have gone by the British crew, now up to fourth they are. The red plate holder in fourth from the back of the field. Are they able to close in the left rings? Well, you wouldn't put money against it, would you? There's some 25 seconds adrift though. That's going to take some catching up. 10 minutes of racing still remaining before we see the 2-lap board. And Hermans, Ben van den Bogart, the 4 times world champion passenger, doing an admirable job here. Well, they can't take a swig from their water bottle, but I can. And I'll just lubricate the larynx. Job done, back in business. Herman's now pulling out and away from Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, but they will know that they are moving into second place in the World Championship, ahead of Kilian and Evan Prunier, who will still be third. Stefan Wyers on Sanders, making the move stick, just flew up there. Davy Sanders Mega not responding the way Stefan Wyers' bike punched up there. That was a really very impressive piece of riding up there. Wyers on a Zabel VMC, so that was 2-stroke versus 2-stroke. His Zabel has proved to be ultra reliable, as indeed was Kilian Prunier's up until lap 2 of today's race. Very sad sight to see the Frenchman sidelined. But all is not lost. We have 5 more races before we conclude the season. One more race here this weekend, of course, this afternoon on the FIM-moto.tv live stream. Then it all goes to the Prunier's homeland in Vesoul in France before the grand finale in Rudelsburg. And it could all come down to the final round, maybe even the final race. Who knows? Davy Sanders still well placed here. He will do his championship standings the world of good, currently sitting on 140 points. No Benny Weiss here, who's ahead of him, so he will make significant inroads on Benny Weiss this weekend, if not replace him. Justin Kerben, Dion Rietman still out in front by 4.9 seconds. Last time over the finish. But we're watching Stefan Wyers and Han van Hal, as we have done on so many occasions. They always provide not just a good mid-pack scrap. Just recently they've been more up the sharp end and giving a really good account of themselves. Probably the best season Stefan Wyers has had. Jens Vincent looked a little bit unsteady there, but that didn't call for a great amount of passenger extension. Those ruts are very tricky. You've got to be prepared to keep the thing upright. That is now race leader on the back of Jake Brown. Jake Brown and Chris Booth. Daniel Bruno Leobard is still there coming up behind. But Kerben is siding his way through the field, going past the 711 crew. Jake Brown and Chris Booth following him round. Leobardis is in the outside line going round. So a real gaggle of back markers here for Kerben and Lilbardis to navigate. Do with a bit of satellite navigation here, cutting your way through. The 711 crew, Marcus Normack and Daniel Thomas Dukulis, not his regular passenger, but certainly someone who's in, if not for this weekend, for this season. I've not seen Marcus Normack. I might have seen him in Poland. I can't remember if he's in Poland or not. Lilbardis then, still in pursuit of Justin Kerben. And Bruno was looking pretty shattered at the qualifying race yesterday. This is tough going. This is a hard track to ride on, and bumps appear in the ruts as well, which makes it really tough. There, the Lefrick still in third. Now waiting for Koen Hermans. Where is Koen Hermans? Koen Hermans, Ben van den Boogaard, a considerable way back, as we still follow the race leaders, and why wouldn't we? Under 5 minutes then of normal racing before the 2 lap ball comes out. Lilbardis is right on the back now of Justin Kerben. Surely Kerben won't surrender at this late stage in the race. They are pretty race fit, although the Lilbardis boys have completed more races. And look over the shoulder, and that is always a bit of a giveaway sign. Justin Kerben looking to see where Lilbardis is. And I can tell you, Justin, he's on your case, mate. He really is very much on your case. And the Latvian flags will be going bonkers. Now, what you need here, Justin, is a few more tail enders. Here's that double line again. Who's it going to work for? Lilbardis knows he's got to squirt it hard round there, and squirt he did, but still it's Kerben who emerges out front. Deja vu. Lilbardis then, off comes a rip-off or a little tug on his roll-off. This is the battle at the front with 3 minutes of racing plus 2 long laps remaining. Fantastic stuff. But what a performance by Wilkinson and Villard. I'm not even going to try and work out the maths at the moment, because if I, sure as eggs are eggs, if I take my eyes off the screen, something will happen. 25, 22, 20, 18. Oh, look at that alongside. Wilkinson will indeed overtake Prunier if he stays where he is. Kerben then, having to fight here because Lilbardis is coming at him over the jumps. This is going to be a really close call. 2 minutes of racing and then the 2 lap board. But it's Justin Kerben, Dion Rietman and Daniel and Bruno Lilbardis. These were the top 2 from qualifying, and they're the top 2 in the main event. So no surprises there. Hermans still behind Lefrinks and a long way back. So I think Koen Hermans has basically climbed as far up the ladder as he can. Tim and Sam Lefrink are not that far behind. They are closing in. There could yet be a twist in the tail. A back marker ahead of Justin Kerben, he's by. The back marker then will be getting the blue flags, and Lilbardis is by. The Latvian supporters at the left of the track, waving the flag, pumping their fists. Exciting stuff. Here we are again. A road or B road. And that is not a good move for Daniel Bruno Lilbardis, but it is the line they choose to take. It works for Kerben, and the other line seems to work for Lilbardis, because they've now come out alongside Kevin and Kenny Wachter on the 580 Husqvarna. with the teleforks. Those boys cutting their teeth in Grand Prix, and we hope to see them certainly in the future and certainly next year if what we hear from Martin Bena is anything to go by. They'll be at all those rounds. Neil Bardis then still not giving up. Well, he wouldn't, would he? Because he now has got every opportunity to overtake Lefrink in the standings. Lefrink though is third, so it's going to be really close between those two. Lefrink will pick up 20 points, moving him on to 219. And Lil Bardis will pick up 22, moving them to 260. So it's close stuff. But it's even closer at the front. A 25-point victory for Lil Bardis will make all the difference, and he knows that. They are certainly getting all the encouragement. The clock is at 0. Next time round, Justin Kerben will trigger the 2-lap board, and we will get that on our screen, and that will be just after the choice of lines that they take. And will he take the same one? Maybe if he thinks, and there, that's Tim and Sam Lefrink getting close as well. Brett Wilkinson still battling on in 5th place with Koen Hermans ahead of him. But what a performance. Lefrinks are very much in touch with Lil Bardis. It's still not a done deal for Daniel and Bruno Lil Bardis. Kerben did the clever move there. He knew the line that Lil Bardis took, so he took it as well, just in case Lil Bardis would move it, and he did. Lil Bardis was tricked there. He could have taken Kerben's line and maybe gained a bit, but there's nothing in it. If anything, Kerben won a bit by that crafty little move. The last thing you want is to come out of that choice of lines to find, oh, Bruno looking a little bit ragged there. I think they're all hanging on a bit here. This is extremely tough. 19-year-old identical twins trained so hard. They trained at this track, so they know the track very well by their own admission. And they are now on their penultimate lap. Lefrinks are close, but not as close as they need to be. I'm going to need a lie down in a dark room after this, but there'll be no such luck because quad's around the corner. Oh, there the Lil Bardis boys caught Mike Hodges, and Mike Hodges now firing on. The blue flags are being waved here, but Mike Hodges and Ryan Henderson doing a great job staying on the right-hand side of the track, respectfully out of the way as the Lil Bardis boys lost ground on the race leader there. Kerben gained himself a bit of breathing space. Not much, as you can see, but a bit. And now coming into the start of the final lap with Tim and Sem Lefrink even closer than they were before on Daniel and Bruno Lil Bardis. Here we go, the inside line for Kerben. Into the berm and over the hill, and we will have a 1 lap sign, 1 lap remaining. There it goes on the final lap then. Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman. All they've got to do is hold it together. Dion flicking up in the air. This is tough for passengers. '191 crew, Jonas Pertines and Leslie Alexievich. Another back marker for Daniel and Bruno Lil Bardis to navigate. What a performance. Whole shot, gate to flag. for Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman. And they are looking impeccable now. The gap between them and the Lille Bardis boys almost dropping Daniel Bruno back into the clutches of the Lefferink brothers. One pair of brothers who will be standing dejectedly at trackside. Kylian Evan Prunier, who saw their chances of taking the championship lead evaporate when their bike died a death. But they will still be third in the standings. And a long, long way to go. 5 races remaining, as I've said. But we're now watching, and rightly so, Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman on their final lap, with the Lille Bardis boys battling gamely on, having lost touch with the race leaders. And this will be a fantastic result for Kerben and Rietman. Not far now. Still jumping high. And in they go. Just the right-hander. The finish is in sight. The Latvian flag being waved for a good runner-up spot. Over they go. Victory for Kerben and Rietman. Second place for the Lille Bardis twins. There it is confirmed, and it will be third for Tim and Sem Lefferink. A long, long way back. Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart will bring it home ahead of Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard. But what a result for those two boys. Looking as fresh as a daisy, both of them. Justin Kerben, what a comeback for him this year. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart on their way round then, bringing it home ahead of Wilkinson and Millard. 4th place for them. They must have used every ounce of energy in that fight through the field. Fourth place, and they retain the red plate. Congratulations all round by the top 3. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, 5th place, 16 points to add to their 235. And that will be absolutely amazing. Right then, we spoke to Justin Kerben yesterday. Today you're going to have the pleasure to hear from the passenger, Dion Rietman.
So Dion, congratulations for the race win. You took the whole shot and leading completely the whole race. So what can you say about it?
Yeah, so happy, finally P1. It's our first P1, so yeah, I don't know what to say really. We had a great start, great wholesale again. The AMS is working wonders for us, and yeah, from there we just had to push still because the Lille Bardis boys were on our back all race. But it was a very, very nice race, and very happy to take the...
Brilliant race for you, so happy for you, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Amazing crowd, they like that. They would have wanted a Lille Bardis victory. The majority of them are Latvians, of course, but in fairness, they were beaten by the better crew. Whole shot to the flag for Justin Kerben and Dion Rietman. The Lille Bardis boys, though, gave chase, a valiant chase. And in the end, they themselves came under a bit of pressure from Tim and Sem Lefferink. But excellent stuff, absolute excellent. And we are now going to hear from It's passenger day today. Bruno Lielbardis, the second of the twins. I wonder how tired he is. Let's hear from Bruno.
So Daniel, second position for you in the first race. I think that it's not the result you hoped for, but still it's a good result, and you know what to do for the second race, right?
Yeah, we still have a chance for the second race. The start was good, we have a second place, and I wanted to pass him on the first laps, but it didn't happen, and we had bad luck with the lappers, so it was a lot of catching up, and I couldn't find the line to do it, so second race we tried to do it.
Yeah, for sure, there is so many people cheering up on you, so it will help a lot.
Yeah, of course, we go for the maximum. I could hear the fans in every corner, so it also helped us, and very big thank you to them.
Yeah, I wish you good luck for the second race.
Thank you.
Disappointment from Daniel. That was Daniel, not Bruno. Maybe Bruno did, after all, just go and have a quiet sit down. But he still wasn't very happy. Thought he could have won that. And as you heard from him, the tail enders caused a problem. Kuhn and Kerben was much quicker. Well, the Lefferink boys have enhanced their standings very well, and they nearly caught Lielbardis towards the end of the race. We can hear now from Tim Lefferink.
So, Tim, third position in the first race. Again, great racing from your side. You are doing really well. So, what can you say about it?
Yeah, it was really amazing. The start, we were third, I think, and we held it the whole race, and it was a very heavy track, a lot of big duds, and we held it on the wheels. So we did our best, and third, I think it's really good for us.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like you will be again on the podium if you do the same.
I hope for the next race.
Yeah, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Well, absolutely fantastic, and we're going to see the confirmation of that result. Kerben, Lielbardis, Lefferink, you saw those three being interviewed. Hermans, Wilkinson. Wilkinson has now moved second in the standings as a result of that. Down to third go the Prunier boys. Stefan Wise, Davy Sanders, what a battle that was. Tom van der Lagerbach with Nicolas Musset having another great weekend. Gordiev, Robert Lietzer, Marcus Lehner, didn't see them on the track, but they finished 10th. Adrian Petter, Joel Hoffman from a good start, dropped back just ahead of Mike Hodges, Ryan Henderson, and the Vactor brothers were there on their Telefort AYR chassis. Jake Brown, Chris Booth, 14th, and so on. What an amazing, and that's what it's done to the championship. You can see Wilkinson there now. 251, 269, the gap, well, he's not that far. He's 18 off the lead, and Prunier boys there on 245. And Kerben leapfrogs into 5th place above the Lielbardis boys. So that is an impressive day for him. Well, there's a lot more to come up. 2 more races, in fact, 1 quad and 1 sidecar. But we're going to take a break now from Latvia. We will be back here on FIM-motor.tv. From me, Barry Nutley. Join us again for quad race number 2 in the European Championship. Don't go away. We'll be back with that very soon. Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukenes certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.